going to talk a little bit about the annual reports in association with wildlife tax valuation. Annual reports are how you report what you've done to the county appraisal district. Also, the county appraisal district has a right to request them. The frequency of when you get these does vary by appraisal district. Some appraisal districts ask for them every year. Others may ask for them only every 3 years, and still others, I've talked to some landowners and they've never had to fill one out. Again, it varies by your appraisal district. And in this report, it's just a way for the appraisal district to audit what you're doing, to make sure, one, you're following the guidelines of the program and doing what you said you were going to be doing. I do want to point out that this form looks very, very similar to the wildlife management plan that you filled out when you I have actually gotten phone calls and people are worried that they need a new plan, but once you read the top here, it says annual report versus the other form says wildlife management plan. Again, here we're going to report what you did for the prior year. So this form is also referred to as PWD 888. That's its official document number for the state. A form can be downloaded at this address listed here. Very similar to the wildlife management plan, it is a fill in the blank and checkbox form. Again, you're going to report what you did during the past calendar year. You will submit this report to the appraisal district from January 1st through April 30th of this year to detail the practices you completed during the calendar year of the prior year. When you are filling out the report, we do recommend that you submit at least one item of evidence. It could be a photo, could be a receipt, or other evidence for each of the 7 categories in which you claim a practice. For example, if you have receipts for the fuel for the chainsaws you're using to do some brush management, if you've taken pictures of the nest boxes that you put up and you're cleaning, these are things that can be submitted and support and provide evidence that you are doing what you said you did. The great thing about smartphones and stuff like that is when you do take a picture, it embeds a GPS location into it as well as a timestamp. Now, appraisal districts still can visit your property to check up on you. A lot of times they'll send a blanket form in there saying we'll be there. It's usually a series of a month or so. But they do have that right to come and check up on you. Again, that can vary by appraisal districts. They actually do a site visit or not. Again, I encourage submitting a map either with your annual report or your map, because that way the appraisal district can go locate the practices you're doing. For example, if you submit a map, whether it be like a Google map that you've listed where everything is, or even a hand-drawn map just displaying where your management practice took place, it helps them locate that. It's easier for the appraisal district people to drive by a property and go, hey, it's got good fencing, I see some cow patties out in the pasture, you've got cows, you're following that. Wildlife may, some things may not be as obvious, so that just aids them when they have to come out and do reports. Again, depending on staffing at the county appraisal district, they may or may not come out to visit your property every year. However, if you find yourself in failure to complete the practices, you are potentially could lose your appraisal. Well, what happens then? Basically, you could have rollback taxes. What this means is you would pay the difference between the production value and the market value for the last 5 years on your property, plus interest. And now just keep in mind, when you have a ag valuation, wildlife valuation, you often get about up to a 90% reduction in taxes. So this can be a big chunk of change. For example, if you pay $100 in taxes with an ag appraisal and you violate the rules, you could end up paying around $5,000 in penalties. So it is important to make sure you can complete the practices and that you do what you say that you are doing. Again, if you have any questions, please write them down and we will address them during the live Q&A session that is to be held on Saturday. Thank you for your time.